Welcome. It is the Ski Bum Podcast, and it is your pals, Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
Back. It feels like it's been a while, but it's good. There's a lot going on. A lot of good mojo in the air.
A lot of good mojo in the air. And we're trying to send good mojo to our pal who was our main topic interview this week, our pal, Mike Arciero. He is the New England sales rep for Arciero, which is a sponsor of this podcast. And our boy had a little nasty incident and tore his ACL at the end of February, but he's on the mend. He's doing great. So we're sending him positive vibes. We had a great conversation with him, kind of covered a couple different topics, which we think you're going to enjoy. So check that out in the main topic. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out at skibumpodcast.com. We're on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped at Ski Bum Podcast. YouTube, we're also there. I think it's at Ski Bum Podcast, or just look for our name. You'll find us there. Go to your favorite podcasting apps, rate and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. Also, if you like what we're doing, please, patreon.com/Ski Bum Podcast. Become a patron. Help us out. Help us grow this bad boy. Spread the love. Have it be bigger. Should we do a ski trip next year? Should we be a gathering of the bums? What should we do?
Should do a bum gathering.
We should do a bum gathering. There's a lot of things we would like to do. So with this Patreon community, I don't know, one of our thoughts is hash out ideas, figure out new things to do, new ways to make it interesting. If you want to get involved in the ground floor, maybe you could do that. Maybe you could be like a bum producer. We got a lot of ideas and thoughts, and we want to get some feedback from people and see if we could kind of grow this together as a giant community. Because without the listeners, without you guys, like, it's just us talking, and that's cool, but it's not nearly as cool as it could be if we have more people involved. So
just a lot of yapping right now.
Just a lot of yapping. Patreon.com/Ski Bum Podcast. Check it out.
Boom.
Arciero. We just mentioned them. Big shout out and thank you to our sponsor, Arciero, TERRACEA.com. Premium cold weather solutions. Their mission is to create best in class apparel that can be worn in any cold temperature environment, designed with thoughtful features and fit, and always providing the optimum level of performance for whatever you are doing. They fully believe in the idea that good product can always be made better and strive to constantly improve, refine, and optimize all facets of their products. Go to their website, Arciero.com. Use the code TerraceaBum, all one word, 15% off.
Boom.
I'll even spell it for you. TERRACEABUM. One word, 15% off. Boom. Thank you, Arciero. Bumming it up. Mario, let's kick this off the way we always do.
It's time for Après Today.
This is my select squeeze again.
See, we're doing the Monday Après Today, or the Monday podcast, which, again, it's Saturday morning, Monday night. Like, you're not getting raw, crazy Après Todays. Like, we'll admit that. Like,
you're not getting post happy hour Après Today, third Après for the day kind of stuff.
We're not doing triple bourbon, like 8 fingers of freaking Basil Hayden or something. We're gonna have those podcasts again.
Yeah.
This summer, we're going to have some silly podcasts. And we were just talking about it before we started recording. We've been talking to our buddy Tim from SkiRex Media, and we have some cross-mogination plans to do something a little fun and different for the summer.
Yeah. We have a think tank going up at the mountain. So while skiing, there's a lot of thinking and talking and creating.
Cross-promotion, cross-mogination. We're going to do some cool things with Tim. And yeah, it's going to be fun over the summer. So you know what? There may not be snow on the ground where you are, but there will always be snow in your mind and in your ears.
In your heart. Snow in your heart.
Snow in your heart. If you watch the movie Frozen with Elsa, that's a bad thing, but in this case, it's going to be good. It's my daughter's favorite movie, so we watch it a lot.
Medically, it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying.
It is. We're going to warm your heart while still having ice in our heart. If that makes any sense at all.
If you eat snow, then you're ingesting the snow, and that's water that's actually non-frozen snow.
That's true.
So you do have snow in your heart, right?
Snow in your heart. Yes. So Mario, what do you have? Squeeze again?
So it's called Select Squeeze is the manufacturer. It's called Hint of Sweet. So it is I had to look it up because it's a nano emulsified. That's the name. Nano emulsified cannabis oil. So it's like really small particles that kind of get right into you. Rather than waiting 45 minutes, it hits you in about 10 minutes.
Who's got 45 minutes?
Who's got 45 minutes? I want to feel the effect now. But you could actually have it like a regular drink. And then if you want another, you get another drink and boom, there you go. You can dose nicely.
So how much have you put into that beverage that you're currently consuming?
Damn. Only 5 milligrams.
5 milligrams. And is that like per squeeze, or is it like a cup you pour it into, or?
So there's like a little squeeze cup on the top, and you actually it's almost like the Listerine thing. You squeeze it and it fills up the top cup to a certain amount, and then you just pour it in. It measures it exactly, which is nice.
What's the most you've ever done in one of those?
I've had 3 of these before. Just like 15 milligrams.
15? Never just like, dude, like drink this whole goddamn bottle. We're gonna find Jesus tonight.
Oh, my wife and I hit the bottle pretty hard. We probably killed half a bottle for one day. It's kind of so about 6 drinks. It's kind of like
buzzing.
But I tell you what, woke up the next day, fizz a fiddle, ready to go again. It was good.
That's the beauty of the weed drink, right? Is that you don't have that hangover.
It is. And I tell you what, it takes the edge off better than alcohol. Like you have one of those, you feel kind of nice,
Yeah. I know my problem is like, I think it was it Friday, or I think it was Friday night. I just, long week. We'd gone out to dinner. That's what it was. I had a margarita at dinner. And then I got home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to have another margarita. And my problem is, when you have little kids, like they go to bed pretty early, and you should be smart enough to know that your clock is ticking from there, like when they're going to wake up. It's like, bro, you can stay up 4 more hours if you want. Like I was watching like all these like dumb, like comedy things on YouTube. Hilarious, but dumb. I'm watching, and I'm like, I'll watch another one. Like, I'm going to watch some classic Mitch Hedberg. I'm going to watch this. And it's like, my timer for my lights is like 12:03, and they turned off. And I'm like, I got to brush my teeth and go to bed now. And lo and behold, 5:45. Guess who's jumping in bed?
It's you have a nice 5 hours of sleep, Dad.
You're like, you're dumb. You're so dumb. You're old enough to know better, and you're still dumb. But
that's what happens.
Dude, margaritas for me, like it's like, because again, 1's great, 2's great, 3's even better. So you're like, it's like just having, and they're great going down. They're delicious. You get a little silly, but the problem is the next goddamn morning, you're just done.
It's just the alcohol. Just, I don't know. It just wears on me a little bit. Like
it dries you out. You can't recover as fast. It's like, and there's
sluggish. It's just weird. Like what happened? Right.
Yeah. And with age doesn't help either. Like none of that helps. Like everything is stacked against you, but yet you still do it.
Still do it. And I still do it. I still, I had mimosa. So what I've been doing now, make mimosas, right? With weed. But then I still use the weed and I make a real mimosa.
Yeah.
I call that the riding the lightning. That's that's the speedball. That one's going to get you.
I think you guys got to figure out in Florida how to, cross-pollinate oranges and weed. I mean, that would just take a lot. That would take a lot of the, hear me out, grapes for the champagne, or the whatever we're calling it, the sparkling wine.
Yeah.
Weed-infused grapes plus weed-infused oranges. And you just have the perfect mimosa then.
That's perfect.
Right?
That's perfect.
I love it.
Like, and that's what I like doing with this. I put it in my little mimosa. I could put it in my coffee in the morning. Having coffee, I'm like, you know what? Throw a little bit in there. Why not?
Bang.
Yeah. Make a smoothie for breakfast. Boom. Squeeze that shit up.
Cereal, put it in the milk. Boom.
Put right? Milk. Boom. No, don't throw away that milk. You got to drink it all.
That's what Michael Jordan had in his Wheaties, right?
That's right. Wheaties.
Prove otherwise.
Wheaties.
Prove otherwise.
That's right.
Yeah, so like it's a Monday night. So what am I doing?
What you got?
I got a San Pellegrino Essenza.
Damn, like you just put some weed in that. It'd be great.
I should. Blood orange and black raspberry. And you know what? Because my wife has got me into this guy. Like I don't know what his name is. He's on Instagram. This guy. I don't even know what his name is. but he's got some blog about like healthy eating and food and ingredients and crap. He's living rent free in my head, and I can't even drink these anymore without feeling guilty. You know why? Because of one goddamn ingredient: natural flavors. Natural flavors. Like that's bad apparently. Because you know what? What could be a natural flavor? Asbestos, semen. It doesn't. They don't have to tell you. It's just natural poop. It's just natural. So
wow, just natural flavors.
Oh, so the only seltzer that's really Bobby approved, because this guy's Bobby and he approves stuff.
What the fuck does
Apparently,
Bobby know? Who's Bobby? Who's Bobby? Who the hell Bobby at?
Bobby knows. Like he just like he knows, and you don't want to admit he knows, but he knows.
But he knew. He knew Jack.
I've been making fun of him forever, but now I just he's again in my head rent free. I think about
Dr.
it.
Bobby? Is it Dr. Bobby now?
I forget what his name. Like I'm gonna look him up now because we're talking about this. Bobby approved. What's this? Who's this clown? He's got an app and everything.
So why doesn't he approve natural flavors?
Flav City. FALVCITY. Flav City. That's like his thing.
But why doesn't he like natural flavors? What the hell's wrong with him?
Again, because you don't know what it is.
It's natural.
Yes. But so is asbestos, isn't it?
I don't know.
Flav City. He's like,
City.
It's got to be like Bobby approved or whatever. And like,
the meal prep guy.
Yeah.
What the hell does this guy know about?
I don't know, but I can't drink like other seltzers now. Like, it's just.
Yeah, dude, he would get thrown around in the octagon. Screw that. I ain't listening to this guy.
You know what it is? It's just you get to a certain point in your life.
You know, it's Bobby approved. Getting choked out. It's Bobby approved.
These nuts are Bobby approved. These nuts are Bobby approved.
That's right. These nuts.
Yeah.
Bobby gonna approve these nuts.
Yeah.
Dr. D's nuts.
Drinking seltzer, like just with, I don't know.
Oh no, it's not Bobby approved.
It's not because of natural flavors. Why are natural flavors wrong? Maybe we'll do an episode about that this summer. I don't know.
I gotta find out why natural flavors.
I love nature. Natural approved. So that's what I'm working with.
Why don't they put the flavors that they're putting in there?
Well, it's like I got a smoker. I got a Traeger grill.
Nice.
I've been obsessed with this monster for the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
Briskets and ribs. So you know what? I'm gonna post a lot of barbecue pictures this summer because you know what? I don't have pictures of snow to post because you know we don't live in somewhere epic like Utah or California. So I'm gonna post barbecue pictures. I made
with natural flavors?
No, that's the thing. The rub that I got, it tells you everything except there's one little chunk because it's like granulated garlic and onion or dehydrated onion and garlic and salt, and then it has something that's just spices. Like that's what you're telling me? Spices? Like what the hell does that mean?
Just spices.
Just spices.
It's spices. Well, in a way, they don't want to tell you that it's just some simple spice.
Sauce, you know?
Right? So I get that.
But I think it's something green. I think it might be oregano or something that I don't love. You know? Like because I'm still an amateur in my barbecue game, I haven't made my own rub. That's coming. Like that's gonna be like by July, August. I'm gonna be like, I'm making my own rubs, bro. Like there's just not enough cumin or paprika in the rubs that I'm buying.
So you gotta check with you gotta bounce ideas off of Steve. He's had the Traeger for years.
Yeah. Well, I saw our friends.
So he said the smoking, it doesn't make sense to smoke it all the way. You smoke it for a few hours and then you just finish it on the grill.
For some things, yeah.
For some things, yeah.
I made pork belly burnt ends last week.
Nice.
And they were out of this world. They were meat candy. They were unreal good. They're so good. I did ribs for the first time this past weekend. Solid B plus. Maybe a 90, maybe 89, 90 if we're being generous. Yeah, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So anything that if I don't have an orgasm when I eat it, there's room for improvement. That's how I operate. I have a very tough grading policy on my own meat. My brisket that I made the first time is probably like a C plus, B minus, like 78, 79 around there. Wow. Everyone that tried it loved it, but I'm like, it's not quite moist enough. I don't totally love it. I don't have my smoke rings not big enough. Like I'm very hard on my barbecue.
Looking at that smoke ring.
That pork belly burnt ends though, that was A++ out of this world. Like AP barbecue, I'm getting like a 5.0. That's been my new hobby now is smoking things, and it's getting out of control.
Out of control. Yeah, I've been looking at this They're talking about drinking water and why it's good or why it's not good. I don't know.
Bobby approved. Electrolytes. Like reverse osmosis is bad, but like the other kind is good. Like I'm telling you,
Why is
man.
reverse osmosis bad? It's
I don't
filtered.
know. I don't
Goddamn
know. Like
filter.
someone's got a problem with everything.
So Bobby has a problem with because they could use MSG and animal secretions and all sorts of stuff that are animal product can be considered
Natural flavors.
flavors, even if it's a vegan product.
There you go.
So
there you go. You know, it's almost better just don't listen to anybody about anything anymore.
Don't listen to anybody.
Don't be too healthy. You're just wasting your time. You're gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Die with a smile.
I will tell you though, ice cream has been messing me up lately.
Ooh, ice cream, huh?
There's one ice cream place like right by us that we go to sometimes.
Dude, that's your Achilles heel.
You know what? I think it's just this ice cream place because I go there and now went there early in the day, like 4:00. Like usually if I'm eating ice cream, like I'm done for the day. I'm just gonna pass out on the couch. Just give me the whole pint, you know? But like to eat ice cream and then to go do something, like try to keep up with the kids and like I was falling asleep. It was like 5:00. I'm like standing up, like just ready to fall down. Ice cream just knocked me out. Like I don't know what they're putting in. I don't know if it's just this place. I don't know. I used to put down a whole ice cream cake and be good to go. Ready to start the day.
You thought you were good to go.
Ready to start the day. Just ate a whole Oreo ice cream cake. Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Not this place.
So you got to watch out. Like if your wife starts bringing ice cream home every day, she's trying to kill you.
Trying to take me out.
Trying to take you out, man. One scoop at a time.
That's right.
Or in your case, one pint at a time.
Forget Smith and Wesson. It's Ben and Jerry.
That's right. She's like, look, Brian, they were on sale at Costco. I got a 12-pack.
Oh, God.
And you know,
we're buying a new freezer.
Your days are numbered.
Days are numbered, yeah.
We got a new freezer, and look, it comes with all this ice cream right here.
Yeah.
How much ice cream could you eat in like 48-hour period?
Dude, I don't even know. Not anymore. Like my old me, I could put down like 8 pints of Ben and Jerry's.
Damn.
The Vermonster still seemed like a reality like 5 or 6 years ago. Now,
how long would it take you to get through a Vermonster?
The bananas are what I couldn't deal with.
No bananas. You still think just scoops alone, you think you could take out the Vermonster? I
still think I could. If you eliminated, the problem is that was it 4 brownies, 4 bananas, and like I don't know, a cup of walnuts or something. I think that's the toppings you have to consume. It's the brownies I could work with. The bananas, like I'm not a banana guy to begin with, but 4 of them, like that's my undoing.
So full Vermonster is 20 scoops of ice cream.
Dude, I could destroy 20 scoops of ice cream. I could have Thanksgiving dinner and still eat 20 scoops of ice cream.
I want to translate that into pints, and then you could do a pint challenge for yourself.
I think it's 4 scoops to a pint.
4 scoops to a pint?
Does that sound about right? I would say a pint is 4 scoops.
Pint is 4 scoops.
There we go. You can usually divide a pint of ice cream into 2 cups and 4 scoops. Okay, so we're talking 5 pints.
5 pints.
5 pints.
5 pints. How many brownies? 2 brownies, 2 bananas.
They say 4. They say 4 of each, I think.
Holy, 4 bananas?
Yes.
Dude, can you just sit and eat 4 bananas as it is? It's a lot.
I can't. I don't like bananas. Like I have maybe 1 if I have to.
So I'm saying you can't even eat the 4 bananas. You're out. You're tapping out even before you start.
Yeah.
Can't do the time. Can't do it.
That's what kills me. Yeah. That's what kills me.
And then how many brownies? Like 2 brownies, 3 brownies, 4 brownies?
Even if it's 4, you know what? Because if I had the 4 brownies, I would adjust my ice cream flavors so I could better accommodate the brownies. So I wouldn't go for like the heavy duty flavors that had all the brownies and the stuff in it. I would get the lighter flavors. So almost like I'm Cold Stone creamerizing my Vermonster.
But you don't get to pick your flavors. They pick one of each.
No, you pick your flavors. You're a gentleman. Like you choose the ones that work for you.
All right. Yeah, but okay, sit down, eat 4 bananas and 4 brownies. You can't even do that.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I don't know. I think you're thinking lofty. You sit down with 5 pints and you try to take them out. I want to see how far you get. I got you at 3, maybe.
See,
I
the
got
thing
you
is,
at tapping out at 3.
once they soften up, like it's on, baby. Like get a little bit of
I
that.
still got you tapping out
Even
at
like
3.
a half an hour drive home from the supermarket in like June, like boom, like I could just like shotgun like 2 easily, like 2 pints
Tapping
down.
out at 3.
Even before I sit down, I got 2 pints down.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to your wife about setting up a challenge.
I believe in me.
Surprise you, Brian. Look what we got. We got a Vermonster challenge for you.
Surprise Vermonster challenge.
5 pints and a brownie and some bananas.
As long as I have my spade shovel and I can just like hop down on my seat, like just to aid in digestion.
Was that Battle of the Buffets?
Battle of the Buffets. Goddamn.
I've seen that lady. Well, I don't know if she's alive anymore.
No, she's
that
dead.
was a long time ago.
Definitely dead.
Like, why don't they have that stuff on anymore? Like Battle of Buffets.
5 pints?
Exactly.
Come on, man. Well, Americone Dream,
Yeah.
Americone Dream. I'd probably pick. I don't know if I go with the cookie dough. Those chunks of the cookies, like that's. I think I would avoid those type of flavors. With too much stuff. That's why you get
Mud Tracks. Was it Moose Tracks?
Moose Tracks, like Cherry Garcia. That'd be a solid option. Cherry Garcia,
that's a good one.
Americone Dream.
You gotta get the vanilla. They have a vanilla.
Oh,
right?
Vanilla's not even. It's almost too easy. It's almost too easy then, right?
Yeah. How about like the regulars? Vanilla, chocolate, butterscotch, pecan.
I want to make sure we got something like peanut buttery too, because we want something like as salty as possible too. It's kind of counter all the sweetness.
Why don't you just put salt on it? Salt it up.
Well, they say a lot of the people they choose to have French fries with this.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. 20 scoops. They recommend 4 to 5 flavors for best results.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, then you get the brownie.
4 whole bananas. Goddamn. Oh, 3 cookies and a brownie.
3 cookies in it. Ah, what kind of cookies though?
I think they're just like chocolate chip.
See, that could be. How about a fry cookie? Cookie made out of fries.
Yeah, right. Then 4 servings of hot fudge or hot caramel.
4 servings. Damn.
And then 10 spoonfuls of chopped walnuts. There it is, the Vermonster.
I think you gotta to train. You gotta do like the toppings and then do the ice cream and see if you can do them separate. Even
those 4 bananas though. Like that's what I'm saying. Fuck those 4 bananas.
You gotta start with the 4 bananas.
I don't want the 4 bananas. That's the only thing holding me back.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
That's
Doctor, that's the only thing holding him back. The cardiologist is like, oh, great. I'm glad they have those bananas in there. Save Brian's heart.
The one healthy thing in there Brian wants no part of.
You got your fucking insurance actuary listening to this. You're like, oh, he's not taking it. He can't do it because of the bananas.
Can't do it. Oh,
that's like the only healthy thing in there.
Pistachio. You got to go with that one.
That and the nuts are the only thing that's healthy. Banana and nuts. That's it.
Pistachio. Cherry Garcia. Americone Dream. That's where I'm starting.
It's only 3, right? You can do the 3 flavors.
I could. Like they have vanilla. Like I could do that too. Vanilla caramel fudge.
Oh.
Can I use the non-dairy ones? Is that legal?
I don't know. I guess it is illegal.
Oatmeal dream pie. That sounds yummy.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're going to have to look into it.
Yeah. There we go. So, maybe it'll happen this summer. Maybe.
What do you win if you get it? Diabetes? That's what you win.
You get a free empty bucket, pretty much.
Free empty bucket and a bunch of sadness.
Here's your empty buckets.
Get an empty bucket and some body issues afterwards.
Oh, free trip to the toilet.
That's right. Do not
Chance
pass go
they have
right
some,
to the toilet.
Chance the Rapper flavors, which are apparently not good.
Chance the Rapper flavors.
Chance the Rapper flavors. They have like dog flavored ice cream, or not dog flavored, like ice cream for dogs.
Oh, I get that at the supermarket all the time.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah.
They have bacon flavor, bacon peanut butter. There's your use the dog flavor, bacon peanut butter.
Can I use the dog ice cream?
You want something salty? Can I put the dog ice cream on there? Just a few scoops.
Yeah, there we go.
We'll break it up. That's getting them.
Nice.
I think dog ice cream has less sugar and they have like all the, bacon
and no chocolate though.
No chocolate.
Oh, the Dublin mudslide. That was
that sounds
tremendous. Yeah. Irish cream ice cream with chocolate chip cookies and coffee fudge swirls.
Damn.
That's a very good one.
Now I want ice cream.
Dude, right? Me too.
I like any ice cream that has like pie in it.
Oh,
so they had that apple pie with the crust. They had one with cherry. It was like a cherry pie one. Or it might have been another brand, but anything with a piece of pie in it, damn good.
Yeah, they got some yummy ass flavors there. Those hippie bastards. Ben & Jerry. Pumpkin cheesecake.
Hippies? It's fucking Unilever.
That's true. Bunch of Wall Street ass bitches.
Wall Street ass suit and tie wearing bitches.
Friggin' Patagonia vest wearing motherfuckers.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's who they are. Ski house buying motherfuckers.
Well, speaking of Patagonia vest wearing,
let's go to ski news.
So Patagonia is getting involved in the Little Cottonwood Canyon, Utah gondola debate.
Wow.
So we've been talking about this story for years now. We all know Little Cottonwood, home of Alta, Big Snow out in Utah. Big Snow. Alta and Snowbird out in Utah. There's been some debate because over the years, they're trying to figure out a way to improve the traffic flow up the canyon. And a couple of weeks ago, I think right after we posted our last podcast with our folks from Ski Talk, Trisha and Phil Puglisi, which you should definitely check out because that was an awesome interview. There was a big dumping of snow, another one, yes, out in Utah. And both the Cottonwoods, Big and Little, were closed for multiple days. I think Big Cottonwood was maybe like a day and change, but Little Cottonwood was closed for 2 days because of the avalanche. So this has been an issue. People were like, there was actually avalanche warnings at Snowbird. Like they were telling people to get into the nearest building as soon as possible. Like it was pretty sketchy. So they've been trying to figure out how do we get more people in and out of the canyon without all these crazy traffic jams and problems we've been having. So 3 of the solutions were a train, cog train, increased bus service, and the gondola. So as of last summer, the Utah Department of Transportation chose the gondola option to mitigate the traffic problems. And now we are at this debate. Since they chose that option, there has been increased scrutiny and debate, rallying environmental organizations and companies like Patagonia, which oppose the construction of the gondola. Both sides of the argument have presented facts supporting their case on why the gondola is either positive or negative for the community and the environment. The taxpayers of Utah will pay the overall price tag, $500 million.
Damn.
And the estimated $7 million per year to run and operate the gondola.
See, that's what everybody forgets. It's not the original price tag. It's you got to come up with $7 million a year.
Yeah, there's a lot of maintenance and operating costs to keep that thing in shape to be running. So that's what's brought much criticism for those who do not support the gondola project, stating that there are other more cost-effective and environmentally friendly options. Critics also argue the price of $500 million could be utilized in different areas that could keep Utah's residents, or that could help Utah's residents, like providing meals for the homeless, raising the cost of teacher salaries, providing scholarships to students, and assisting local farmers during drought.
That's still not going to help the path there.
One criticism of the gondola is that it only provides access to 2 resorts, Alta and Snowbird, and leaves out other parts of the canyon with points of interest that guests could visit. Solitude Mountain Resort and Brighton Resort are not much farther away in Big Cottonwood Canyon. All 4 ski resorts face the same problem of only having one access road and the same road for guests to travel out of.
They can have stops.
Yeah. So Patagonia has publicly disapproved of the plans for the gondola project and has rallied its grassroots organizations to oppose the construction of the gondola. Patagonia's website has an activism tab on its homepage, which provides information of how individuals can get involved and confront environmental issues. So they have a thing on their website said "Save Little Cottonwood Canyon." Save it. The past summer, the Utah Department of Transportation announced its preferred solution to reducing traffic congestion in Utah's Little Cottonwood Canyon, the world's longest, most expensive gondola. Spanning 8 miles and costing Utah taxpayers an estimated $1.4 billion, it would only stop at 2 private ski areas, leaving others to still deal with traffic congestion and jeopardize climbing areas, trails, and watershed that supplies nearly 60% of Salt Lake Valley's drinking water. Bottom line, instead of solving traffic congestion, the gondola could potentially make it worse for all but the select resort users who can afford a ticket while forever marring a pristine and prized landscape.
Wow.
We can help the fight. We have until April 18th, which is tomorrow, to tell UDOT a gondola has no place in our canyon and it should not be exempt from the roadless rule. Send this message to UDOT or use it as inspiration to craft your own. So they even got like a pre-written email on their site, blah, blah, blah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So
now
they are supporting not doing it.
Yes. So on the other side of the debate are the proponents of the gondola project who also argue why it would benefit the region. Utah Department of Transportation has stated that the gondola would be exempt from the roadless rule because it is not a road, or any timber removal would be incidental. UDOT also states the USDA Forest Administration as the agency that is responsible for handling policies and regulations regarding trailheads and recreational sites. UDOT added, if the USDA Forest Service identifies a need to increase transit service at the trailheads, it can work with UTA to implement it. So they initially had 124 possible solutions to the traffic issue. Hearing all the proposals and going through the necessary steps to formulate the best course of action.
I want to know what all the proposals were. You know, somebody had something ridiculous like
a slingshot.
Or slingshot.
We talked about a trebuchet, right? I'm sure there was like some trebuchet guy.
There had to be something crazy, like
underground tunnel,
crazy shit.
Pneumatic tube. Where's the boring company? Did they put a proposal in there?
Oh, because they would accept that.
Yeah,
boring company would have been great.
So it says supporters believe the proposed gondola is the best solution to the traffic nightmare plaguing State Route 210 every winter, with skiers heading up to the mountains. Alta and Snowbird they offer free bus shuttle service to their guests from their resorts to help mitigate traffic congestion. Proponents of the gondola project believe that the answer to the traffic problem is mass transit, and the time to mitigate it is now. They point to the past when 30 years ago, a similar mass transit solution was presented and voted against. It was a light rail system that would help stem the traffic congestion in the same manner as the gondola project is designed to do as well. The area's population has grown dramatically over the last 30 years, and proponents of the gondola urge voters and lawmakers to plan for the area's future now. So,
not a bad idea.
It's not. So,
yeah.
Now, you know what? It's like I get where Patagonia is coming from, but I also
know why they have a stake in this. That's what I'm wondering.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because there was the one specific line where they talked about our canyon.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they're from Utah, aren't they? Or not?
Are they? I'm not exactly sure if they are or not.
Based in Ventura, California.
Yeah. You know, like And Patagonia's always going to come from that, like, hey man, don't touch the earth. Like, we don't want to touch anything. The world is a perfect virgin mother. Like, we do not want to touch her at all. She's pristine the way she is, and we don't want to even move a rock if we don't have to. And I get that. It's like, but I also live in reality where people are going to go and ski in Alta and Snowbird, you know?
Yeah.
And if you look at the amount of accidents that have happened also in the last couple of years, those have rapidly increased. So people are actually getting very injured or dying because they're driving up these roads. So, like, whose team are you really on? Are you on Team Earth? Or are you on Team People? Like, I know me, I'm on Team People because
Yeah, I'm kind of on Team People.
I am a people. And, I you're not, again, that whole argument too of, hey, you could use this to feed the homeless, or hey, you could increase teachers' wages. Like, that is the most ridiculous argument. That's being like, hey man, you bought a BMW, you could have bought a Chevrolet and given that money to a teacher too.
Right.
It's like,
I
shut
mean,
up.
the money was allocated for a certain purpose, which, that would be the roads. If they want to raise money for something else, then raise it for something else.
Yeah,
But
I
don't
hate
make
that.
apples into oranges. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, that kind of argument is like that. When I hear that, like, that's what I'm like, you know what? You've lost me at that point, because now you'll use anything to push your agenda. Like, you'll just,
Yeah. Well, I don't like when people make that comparison, because it's like, it's not a fair comparison. If you had backing to get your way to use the money to feed the homeless, then you would have presented something and it would have passed and you would be feeding the homeless. Don't
yeah.
say that, oh, you could have used that money for this other purpose. Well, you could also presented that purpose to be funded, and that could have been done too.
That's like, hey, if we got rid of every corrupt senator, I would have to pay as many taxes and I could afford more lift tickets to go ski at Alta and Snowbird.
Yeah.
I'd love to use that argument, but you know what? It doesn't fly anywhere.
Well, that's like we were talking to somebody at Snowbound, and it's kind of, you get into the discussion that they were talking about how detrimental it is, some of this ice melt, where he was telling us a story about, I guess there's a train that used to go, and the glacier was right there. You take the train out to the glacier, and now it's receding because of global warming. But then you also ask, well, if you want to protect the earth, then why do you have a train that goes out there to see the glacier? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you just stay at home and just hope that the glacier's fine? But do you really have to go see it? So you start getting into camping and hiking, like, oh, it's ruining the camping and hiking. Well, you don't have to be out in the wilderness. You could leave that and nature could take it back, and it would be nice and the animals would be undisturbed. But
Yeah.
we want to go and see it. So you have this industry of tourism, so it's snow and environmental tourism, but is the tourism worth the damage that it does to the environment? Because it
Yeah.
does do some damage. So it's
Why do you
kind
have
of
why do you have a house, you selfish piece of shit? You should be living off the land, man.
That's right, man.
Like, you could make that
Why are you driving a
argument.
car, man? You should be walking.
Yeah, you can make this argument down to the stupidest level of any
Yeah.
way of spending any money or spending any time. And
Yep.
it really, it just takes away, because you're never going to find a solution then.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem? Problem is traffic here. How do we eliminate traffic? When you start bringing everything else in, well, we could be spending this money on something else, man. It's like, well, we're not talking about that right now. We're fixing this problem.
Yeah.
How are we going to fix this problem? It's scope creep is really what it is.
It's concrete. Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's also just, everybody has their own agenda for everything. They'll start talking about one thing and then change it to talk about what they had on their mind to talk about in the first place.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, hey man, that's a nice sweatshirt you got. It's Patagonia, right? Well, Patagonia is protesting this thing, and you should get on the I don't know. I mean, some people
You could have bought
use
the
that to
same
their advantage.
sweatshirt at Walmart, man, and taken that money and given it to a teacher, but you bought a Patagonia one.
Yeah. And why do you listen to them when they come out with this news report? Because you like the Patagonia brand, right? Do you like what they stand for? Do you agree with it? Or are you just going to go along because you like the brand?
Yep.
I don't know. Very interesting. Now, if they sponsored us, I'd be like, they're fucking right. And everything they say
Stop,
is gold.
stop the gondola, man. I'll
Because we're
strap
not on the
myself to the
payroll.
bulldozer, you know?
It's right. But because we're not on the payroll, I'm gonna just talk about the other side of that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I still think it'd be really cool to see the gondola. And you know what? Like, this is a weird thing too of where we are as a country, as a society, as a culture. They're saying how they're going to be building the world's longest, most expensive gondola in a negative way. I mean, imagine, like, think about like the World's Fair, like way back in the day. That was
This
like,
is the largest gondola in the
yeah,
world.
there you're like bragging about, oh my God, we're building the world's longest gondola. Like, this is awesome. And now
No,
it's
not
like, you're
anymore.
building the world's longest gondola.
You should feel ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be great, and we're going to be ashamed now? What the hell? Come on, man.
Yeah. Aren't we supposed to like want to be innovating and building newer, bigger, longer, stronger products? Like, isn't that what America's always done?
Only if it's eco-friendly. It's not eco-friendly. Shouldn't be building it, man.
And that to me is the weirdest thing. Again, like I've listened to a bunch of different sides of this debate, you know, like hearing different people present both sides. And the one thing that is weird about the way people who are extremely environmentally, like pro environment, they seem to think that the earth, again, is this like virgin, innocent, sweet, unchanging, perfect environment. Have you looked at the history of our planet and how many times it's been hit by asteroids, volcanoes have gone off, earthquakes have happened, ice ages,
I was watching a show and they were talking how the poles actually changed. North and south have flipped.
Is it every 15,000 years, or there's
something like that? They actually say you could tell by the iron and like some of the materials there, the cells are lined up a certain way, and then like it's opposite after a certain number of years in geology. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and again, like I try to be as environmentally conscious. Like I hate waste. Like I never want to like, you know, use a product too much or throw it on the floor, or like, you know, like I don't believe in, you know, being just like a general asshole. But I also think that a lot of this environmental stuff there's another agenda going on in terms of, hey man, we're going to make a ton of money if these people don't do this, because we're going to have a whole different plan that we want to implement. So
all the money.
It's, dude, every time, if you really want to know the answer to everything, follow the goddamn money.
Yep.
Every time.
Going to a certain place for a certain reason. And that's your answer right there.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of following the money.
Follow that money, son.
2023, 2024 Indy passes are no longer on sale. Why?
Yep.
Following the money. People use their money and they bought them because it's such a good deal. So to preserve the independent and uncrowded skiing experience we all know and love, we decided to pause the 23-24 pass sales. So they remain committed to each of the unique ski areas on the Indy Pass and plan to work with them over the summer to evaluate capacity limits and shape the best possible winter for the shared pass holders. So they're saying a limited number of passes may be released this fall. So sign up for the wait list today to be the first in line for the 23-24 passes.
This is like buying a pair of Air Jordans now. It's like you got to get in line. You got to hope you got the right ticket, because you know what? They may be out of size 10s.
We should be the assholes like Ticketmaster. Just buy them all and resell them at like twice the price. That's essentially what happens with your tickets.
Accounts.
That's right. But that's essentially what happens, right? Ticketmaster goes out, says, "Yeah, I'm going to be that asshole." They buy all the tickets, and then like, "Okay, I'll give it to you for twice the price."
Yo, man, you need an Indy Pass?
Yes.
That could be
got
us.
Your Indy Pass right here. Oh.
Well,
yeah. Imagine a van. Open up the van, be like, "Yo, man, I got your Indy Pass. I got your Gold Pass. What you need, man?"
USA Gold, son. Check it out.
Check it out.
Yeah, well, this kind of started. We knew something was up when Entebani Systems bought Indy Pass back in think it was late February, early
It was a while
March.
ago.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Said there were definitely going to be some changes. It was kind of nice that they it was interesting though. They said that almost every one of the resorts that they had previously is remaining. I think they said 104 out of 105 of the Indy Alpine resorts that were participating in 22-23 will return for next season.
Dang.
The only one being Snow Valley, California, which was acquired by Alterra. Now, I will go on record and say I bought an Indy Pass. I freaked out. I panicked.
Look at you.
I said, I love my Indy
3?
Pass so much this year. I just bought one.
Ran out and bought it.
I bought it. I did like the ghetto like payment plan. So I'm paying like $40 a month for 6 months, $46 a month.
Is it like that Bronco? You're just gonna sell it like for more money now?
Bro, I haven't even gotten my Bronco yet. It's been almost 3 fucking years. And I found out that the guy who was my sales contact, who was a useless dipshit, he's not even with the firm anymore. So they don't even know where my order is. So
Are you shitting? They don't know where your order's at?
I called him last week, gave him my freaking VIN number, and I didn't hear back from them. So I got to call them again tomorrow.
Holy crap. You got to get all medieval on them. Just be like, I want to talk to the fucking boss of this place.
Like
that ain't right.
They are so dumb.
I'm a highfalutin ski bum, goddammit. Give me my car.
I just want my stupid ass Bronco at this point. Like, I just can't even believe this ordeal. I can't wait to just, when I get it, to just, I'm going to go to talk about it this summer. I'm going to go on a rant and just rip this dealership to pieces.
Oh yeah.
Because they're
terrible.
They
you should go right to Ford.
I called the friggin' guy, like the head guy, and bitched.
Yeah.
And I finally got a response, but it's just like, I mean, these people are utterly useless.
No, I'm saying call Ford customer service and bitch to them about the dealer, and then they'll deal with the dealer.
Yeah.
Because that's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I know somebody that got a convertible one. I think I told you about him. And he said he went to a place that had a ton of them. And what they're doing is people get them, they ride around for about, not even 10,000 miles, and then they sell it for like 10 grand more than they paid for it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer that's going to happen with interest rates being as high as they are.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's what people were doing, and that's why
it's over. Yeah,
and that's why I think your reservation disappeared, because he sold it to somebody for like a few grand.
I would not be surprised in the slightest.
Shady as hell.
Yep. And I was looking, just because why not? I was looking at the Bronco Raptors, and those things, they're charging still between 20 and 40 over MSRP for these things. Wow. I'm like, you know what? I hope every one of those dealerships has to fucking eat those things, because again, this isn't 2021 when interest rates were 0%, 2%. Like, you're paying like 7-8% for a car loan now if you have really good credit. Yeah. Like, fuck those dealerships.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
And fuck Ford for not goddamn building more of them. I know, supply chains and chips and blah 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 blah. Fucking make them. Fucking make them.
Oh, you got screwed by your dealer. You should have had yours with the reservation that you had.
Yep.
And you got the shim sham put on you. That's the problem.
Yep.
So don't blame Ford. Don't blame the car. Blame the damn dealer, because they did it to you. They screwed you.
Part of me was walking in and was like, you know what?
Ashley Schaefer BMW.
Yeah, Ashley Schaefer. That's where I should have gone.
You should have gone Ashley Schaefer BMW. If anybody doesn't know where that's from,
look it up. Look it up. Yeah, part of me wants to be like, you know what? I'm buying a fucking Tesla. Fuck off.
Hey, I'm waiting for my Cybertruck. I'm gonna get my Cybertruck before they call you up for your Bronco.
This is looking quite
at this
likely.
Rate.
You're pretty. I would not bet against you at this point.
I don't even know if that Cybertruck's ever gonna get made. I do have a high reservation. I'm gonna be the first one. I bet you everybody else has dropped out. They're all getting
yeah, right.
Whatever else they're getting. I'm gonna get the tow too. I'm gonna get that cargo thing they got to tow behind it.
There you go. Got to get it.
The cyber, whatever it is, it's like a cyber, I don't know, cargo thing, or we'll sleep in that shit. That's the shame with BMW.
Well, we got one more story here in the ski news. There are 17 resorts in the U.S. that have set snowfall records this season.
Woot, woot. That's crazy.
Yeah. I'll tell you one that did not break his record. That would be Killington, Vermont, or anything on the East Coast. Not even close.
I was going to say, there's nothing on the East Coast.
They may have Maybe they made more snow, like record making of snow, but
Yeah. Well, this is actually, when you read the list, it's actually all centered around a certain geographical area, which makes sense. But
yeah,
it's like that one whole area just got pounded.
pounded. And again, this is not going to surprise anyone, but here we go. Eagle Point, Utah, 367 inches. These are all records. Cherry Peak, Utah, 459 inches. China Peak, California, 549 inches, 701 at the summit.
Damn.
Heavenly, 566 inches. Jackson Hole, 595 inches.
So that surprises me that was a record.
For Jackson?
Yeah, remember Jackson Hole? Was it like 4 years ago? Like they lost power. They had to evacuate because like they had so much snow.
Yeah, I think there's actually like crazy wind and ice too.
Yeah, but that's amazing that it's more than that. That's crazy.
Deer Valley, 598. Snow Basin, 602. Park City, 618. Bear Valley, California, 672. Kirkwood, 705. Mammoth, 705. 885 inches at the summit.
Holy crap.
Dodge Ridge Mountain, 731. Boreal, 735. Solitude, 783. Snowbird, 809. Brighton, 850. Alta, 879.
Wow.
God damn. And then close but not quite. Palisade Tahoe, 700. Sugar Bowl, California, 779.
Damn.
Yes.
It's a lot of damn snow, man.
A lot of goddamn snow.
I wonder what the largest single snowfall storm has been.
Yeah, that's kind of that's tough because you got to kind of factor in time. Like, what do you consider one storm?
Like, if a storm comes
continuous?
and continuous for like a day or a day and a half. That's one storm,
right?
So I kind of wonder.
Yeah, I mean,
the biggest storm.
Look at Tahoe and Utah. I mean, that's where they all were. So there's.
I'm gonna have to look at Utah and look at the average snowfall per month, and then in the heavy month, look at the average snowfall for each day, and just see what the largest. We might have that out. Largest snowfall for the day.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find something. I know with Mammoth, they're saying they're gonna be open until at least the middle of July. At least that's their plan.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know there's
still a chance I can get some more shredding, some more laps out there.
Our pal Nick's trying to hook something up for mid-June. So
look at that.
Look at awesome. That would be fun. We will see if we can make that happen.
That would be pretty awesome.
All right, well, that wraps up the old ski news. So on to our main topic, and mentioned it earlier in the show. We had a great conversation with our pal Mike Arciero. He is the New England sales rep for our sponsor, Terracea, and he's gonna. We had a good conversation with him about the brand, how it's evolved, what his role is, and also, like I mentioned earlier, he had a bit of a unfortunate injury. Yeah, he blew out his ACL back in February, and he walks us through how it went down and what his treatment path was and how he's doing in his PT. And it's cool, it's inspiring, it's scary, but it's kind of nice just to know, because I forget what the percentages, but there's a decent amount of skiers that unfortunately get this injury, and hey, maybe it's a little warning for what you could be in for if it ever happens to you. So we had a great conversation. We're going to think you enjoy it. Here's Mike from Terracea. We have another very special guest this week. It is our pal, Mike Arciero from Terracea. Mike, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys. It's good to be back on. Yeah.
So it's been a while since we've had you on the podcast, but we've actually hung out in person several times since then, which is even better, obviously.
Several times.
We hung out at Snowbound. You guys were there. No alleged. We hung out there. We went to that really funky bar after the Snowbound Festival. We had some tequilas. We had some laughs.
Right. That's right.
We actually skied together at Waterville Valley back in February.
Together.
It's pretty cool. We
Action-packed.
lined all that up. That's true.
Yeah,
It's
like
really cool.
a lot of like,
Yeah.
yeah, the universe was in alignment a bunch of times this year. So thank you, Mike, for joining us. We do appreciate it.
For
So,
sure.
Mike, you are the New England sales rep for Terracea. Tell us a little about your job, your role. What is it like every day to be Mike?
Yeah. So yeah, Terracea outerwear, we're a newer brand. We've been around for 5-6 years. You've probably heard me or my boss maybe on the pod before, but yeah, we're striving to be kind of New England's outerwear brand at a good price point with a high quality model, striving to hit both lifestyle and performance points. So making a shell, making an insulated product, having a smaller, tighter line to kind of fulfill skiers and just everyday people that need it in the office and whatnot. So yeah, I've been with the brand for 3 years and just trying to expand our wholesale accounts. So a day in the life for me is pretty much on the road when I'm healthy and able to go open new doors and manage existing doors and essentially grow accounts. Most of my job,
kicking doors in.
yeah, might be kicking doors in too. There's been a few of those.
Check yourself.
Someone's going to buy a new shell today.
Yeah, you better, honestly. But yeah, I mean, a lot of my job is show based. So we have like 3 or 4 trade shows to show the line essentially to buyers in New England. So a lot of my job revolves around those shows. Those are important weeks of the year. But
awesome.
Yeah, so it's a fun ride.
And how did you get started working with them?
Yeah, so I met Eric, the founder and CEO, actually at the University of New Hampshire, where I just
UNH.
finished up school, essentially. Yeah, so UNH, and I actually met him at an event when he was first getting started, and the business was just .com based, Shopify online store and direct to consumer. And I was like, hey, why aren't we selling to stores? This brand has a lot of legs. Let's try and expand people's knowledge of the brand, because that's where people find new things, is in stores. So that's what we did. Started really small, and I'm happy to say next fall I've got 38 doors or something like that in New England, which is really
Nice.
really great. Started at 0, and now we're at 38 across 5 states. So
that's sweet.
0 to 38 in what, 3 years you've been there?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years. Yep.
Damn.
Wow. So now, if you were someone in the New England area, where are some of the big stores people can check Terracea's gear out at?
Yeah, so big name ones. I mean, Kittery Trading Post in Kittery, that's a big one. We work with Gorham Bike and Ski, which is a chain inside Southern Maine and New Hampshire. We're in Gorham Bike and Ski in North Conway, Sportoma, Boston Ski and Tennis right outside of Boston, and where are they? Westboro and Newton. Ski Monsters on Canal Street in Boston, which is a big one. Ski Monster,
of course, yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
So those are the heavy hitters. We've got Aspen East and Basecamp Outfitters in Killington, if you're in that area. Southern Vermont, we got Tiger Art Mountain Sports, Norris House, and hopefully more soon. So, yeah, those are kind of our bigger accounts, and we're working to grow all those territories even more, hopefully next year. So
sweet.
Now, what's like the hardest part of your job? Is it convincing the store owner to bring in a new brand? How does that conversation go? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I mean, the hardest thing is, again, convincing, and they'll be pushing back saying, hey, why would I bring in Terracea if I have good brands already? What's different? And you're gonna have to sell that. Local angle is obviously a huge leg up. We're a New Hampshire based company, which is cool. We have no shipping issues whatsoever, which is tough to find these days. And we're able to fulfill our accounts because we're small and we're local, and we're able to bring things in by air from Asia. Small things like that help move the needle. But yeah,
translation, you look at it and be like, if you have a bunch of little ghetto bitches that want to buy like some subpar gear, they can shop at your store, or they could shop Terracea and get some baller ass stuff.
Exactly. That's a great sales pitch.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need Mario to go on he could be like your goon.
Boom.
With you on these sales calls.
Drop the mic.
You should take over Florida, Southeast territory. Yeah.
That's right.
There you go.
There's some business down there. Yeah.
They're wearing winter coats when it's 60 degrees, right?
That's right. You see puffer jackets out here. Like, what are you doing?
Is that right?
That's
crazy.
Now. So that's why. As fuck.
So now, what do you tell a sales rep, I'm a store owner, if they're like, well, why should I bring in Terracea? What makes you different than, one of the other big brands?
Yeah. I mean, our styling is very different. We have definitely a progressive outlook on styling. Things look different. Anything from trim packages to colorways. I mean, the pockets are lined differently. I mean, you have the Sorel in yellow. That's kind
The
of a
pockets
unique
and the
looking
zippers
jacket.
on your stuff are awesome, and the colors are amazing.
For sure. Yeah. And we use a lot of magnets too. Like we don't use any Velcro, which
Yeah.
so when people see the magnets and they pop in and out, like probably on the bibs, you guys have noticed, but um, that's kind of a cool touch and it makes the customer feel like, oh, this is cool. This is something different. So touch points like that help. Again, the local angle. And again, it sounds cliche, but good price point at, high quality. And that's honestly something we're striving for. So, coming in lower than a Nerona and Arc'teryx with a similar-ish quality is something that's hard to find right now.
Arc'teryx even does.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Flyla does a good job, but that's kind of a good model for us as Flyla as a benchmark brand.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think like you mentioned before, having it in a store makes a big difference because once you actually try the product, you put it on, you do feel the quality in there. And like you said, the touch points of the magnets versus the Velcro. I didn't even realize it till you mentioned it. But now that you did, I'm like, oh my God, that's right. Because I have the Sorel. I love that shell because I run really hot. I have the insulated jacket also, which looks beautiful. And I've had it on a couple of frigid days and it saved me. But if it's not like 25 and under, I'm just drenched. So the Sorel is like that's my go-to. I love that thing. And like I said, I met up with some friends, some podcast listeners, and I had them check out the jacket, and they were like, "Wow, this is a really nice piece." And to your point, having it in the stores, getting people to try it out, touch it, see the little nuance. I don't know if nuance is the right word. The little unique bits or different bits of quality. It really does kind of sell the product itself.
Right. And like ideally, direct consumer is better because margins are better for the business. You're not selling at wholesale, you're selling at retail. But, who the hell is typing in a newer brand, terrac.com, without seeing it in store, touching, feeling? They want to feel, they want to have some trust to spend $400 on a shell, a brand they haven't heard of. They have to do that by touching it and trying it on in store. Unless they return it, of course. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They don't return it. They never return it.
They don't like returns.
Now, once we tried, I tell you what, like this stuff is. I thought the bib was going to be crazy. You sent me the bib. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to wear a bib. I will not ski without the bib anymore.
Right on. That's cool to hear.
And he actually doesn't even wear pants anymore. Normal pants. It's all overalls.
No
because
underwear.
He's like, I need this bib feel all the time.
I freeball
the office.
Like those, those like old school like 1920s bathing suits. He got one of those too because it's like a full bib.
People are like, where's your belt? Like I roll my shirt in my belt and I just tie it around now, and I'm wearing the bib.
It's called fashion. Maybe you've heard of it.
Shit,
yeah. So you don't even wear long johns under it. Just free ball right in those bibs.
Oh, come on, just free ball.
Yep, venting really comes in play. Yeah,
that's right.
Venting is key.
No, I love your stuff. That puffer jacket I wear. I've been in really cold weather. Just puffer. That's it. That's all I need.
That's awesome. Cool to hear. Yeah, that's stuff like that. We're trying not to cut corners. Eric, actually, you guys know Eric. He's actually the best part of his talent is sourcing fabrics. He's really talented with it, and he's interested in it too. So he does a lot of work there, sourcing fabrics, which is going to perform better. Cost, of course, is a factor, but mostly performance, warmth factors like insulations, different feathers. How can we be eco-friendly? Little things like that, I think, is important, especially as a small team. We could really focus on it and talk about it as a group. It's not just one person deciding it. It's kind of a collective, mind discussion of what we should do and how it's going to affect the brand. So, yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see.
What do you think a lot of the frivolous complaints about stuff that's out there, like not your brand, just all brands in general, like people get like the wrong size or they just don't try it on, like because a lot of people shop online. Do you think it's like it's one of those things where you look online, like it looks great online, they get it and like crap, your stuff is like great, so it's like if you shop online, you're probably pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, most people are actually more satisfied than they thought after they receive it. But yeah, I mean, the biggest issues we see, zippers are a nightmare, unfortunately. Two-way zippers, a lot of our products have those. they tend to have issues, mostly user error, but sometimes manufacturer error. Just dealt with 2 unhappy store customers today about zippers, and it's kind of a pain in the ass because you want to make a 2-way zipper because it's convenient. If you're in and out of your car all day, you're on the chairlift, it's nice to zip up the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta wait.
But
gotta zip up and zip down.
Right. So that's an issue for sure, zippers. But we're trying our best to fix that.
Yeah. How involved are you then? Because I know you said you have a small team. Actually, how big is the whole Terracea team?
There's 5 in-house employees, and then we have, other than myself, like 5 other out-of-house reps that are technically not employees, but so a very small team, 10 to 15 people.
Oh, wow. So, and like, how involved are you with Eric and the team kind of coming up with new products, like driving the vision of the brand?
Too involved, in my opinion.
Too involved.
Yeah. I mean, we had to submit our factory order yesterday, and I was very much involved, which I appreciate, but sometimes it could be frustrating because my job's to sell. I just want to go sell. I don't want to be, asked such a heavy opinion of what colors to make and how many of each color. It's a little bit stressful, but to answer your question, I'm pretty involved in that side of it too.
But it's cool that you guys are all like collaborating together, not like somebody's going off on their own doing something, right?
Yeah. So like yesterday we had like a 2-hour meeting on just, again, submitting that factory order.
Nice.
Do we want to make 300 units of this color or that color? What will be more popular online? What are we forecasting? What color is going to be best for B2B? Because that's something we're trying to grow to, is like commercial orders, private label. So yeah, it's kind of big decisions. Obviously a lot of money too to make these decisions, but.
So what do you do when like celebrities that want to rep your brand, like contact you, like Michaela Schifrin and Bodie Miller, like they're probably contacting you all the time, and just like, you got to turn them away. Like, hold on, we got the highfalutin ski bumps.
That's right.
Listen, Miss Johnny Come Lately. We know our old school people. People are keeping it real.
These are should be's, not has beens.
That's right.
God damn, that's hard.
Well, yeah, that's like a big part of it is trying to land a celebrity to grow a brand. A lot of people have said that to us, and
what's a big celebrity? Lead. Wesley Snipes.
Well, we had an interesting lead.
I'm only thinking about it because I'm doing taxes right now.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be the opposite because you're doing your taxes.
I'm doing TurboTax. I'm like, this is the Wesley Snipes version of TurboTax. Yeah. Your honor. God damn.
That's all right. Yeah, we had actually a lead with Dwayne Johnson, Mario. Believe it or not.
Like The Rock?
The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock, because
Terracea?
I landed a sale with Jägermeister, and Jägermeister owns Terramana now. So it's like,
wow. Yeah. All right.
How can we bridge that?
XFL.
Do you have a XXXXXL jacket?
XXXFL jacket.
Quadruple X. Yep.
He's a big man. Would you have that size available, or would that be a custom order?
We have triple X, so there's a chance he can squeeze
only in
into
pants,
that.
Right?
No, tops too.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like you mentioned Jägermeister, you guys like had just done at Snowbound a big custom Jägermeister order, right?
Yeah, black puffies with the Jaeger logo like on the chest. That came out really good.
Nice.
I think next year we got to collaborate on like some crazy marketing. Like we could do like a Jägermeister Irish car bomb thing. Like people be afraid and like, oh no, you got a jacket.
Well, you know what? We could be the Yeezy to your Gap. Oh, like we could have like, I mean, like those Dove shirts that he had that was selling for $175. And it's funny because we talked about it the week before he came out. It was like, I love Hitler. And Gap's like, yeah, we're not selling any of your clothes anymore. Yeah, we're going to give it away.
Dude, you went off the reservation. Like, what the hell?
Pull that right off the hangers. Yep.
Just like slowly, just like, yeah, this is not going to be on the store anymore.
Like a Peter Griffin, like I gotta just
But we got like that's like so Mario and I like this podcast is a think tank. We have some genius, brilliant ideas, but we just need someone to help execute them. We could have some fun, crazy designs. We
on the collaborate.
Cusp. Yes, we could. We got some ideas.
We're on the cusp of getting Bill Gates level funding and Elon Musk.
Pre-greatness. Pre-greatness.
There you go.
If they're listening to this podcast, they're ready to invest. I'm just saying.
I'm on my toes. I hope you guys get it.
Yeah.
That's
we're not
awesome.
we're not gonna forget you, Mike.
Good.
You've been there
Yeah, I
from
was
the
gonna say,
start. You've been a
share
big
the
help.
wealth.
That's right.
So now, so
We're
you said
bringing
you
it
guys,
along.
so you guys already have your big order in for fall winter.
Yeah, as of
Like,
today, actually.
Nice.
wow. So does it feel like a little bit of like a relief now to have that kind of off your backs?
100%. Yeah, it's
Was it like a
definitely
Oprah day? Like you get a green sweater and you get a black pant, you get this, and something for everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, the complicated thing is you got to meet minimums with the factory, which is stressful for us
Oh wow.
because certain styles we just essentially can't make that minimum. So you either have to ditch the style or pay a pretty hefty surcharge, sometimes up to like 40%, which is
Oh wow.
fucked up. So yeah, it's definitely a relief for mostly Eric to be done with that. This time of year is not a good time to be around him because he's always in a bad mood because it's just not a pretty time of year, but it's done. So
Nice.
Well, I gotta say, one of the things I noticed about your brand at the shows, right? Like when we're at the Snowbound Expo, the ladies love your brand.
yeah, they do. Yeah.
Like the dudes are cool and they like it, and it's like it's good. It moves pretty well. But I tell you what, ladies flocking to it, and I think part of it's the color, the style, the ease of it. Like they all like it, and it's really interesting to see the difference. Like I've seen him at that show. I saw him at like different things like Hella Hansen and like all the other, and they were at your place and they were loving it. I was like, this is pretty cool.
It is cool, and you're totally right about that. It's something. A lot of the trimming and like the way it's hemmed is. They say it's flattering. Believe it or not, like the bibs are flattering for women, and they look good. They feel good. It's tight but not too tight in the chest. All that kind of stuff.
Oh
So,
yeah.
It's like the
yeah,
Lululemon.
that's right.
It's
So
like Lululemon
that and
of
colors.
Giggity
outerwear.
giggity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Styled by
So-
Quagmire.
So do you?
Giggity giggity.
So is there any sort of like preview you can give us? Like, is there a certain color that's going to be like the hot thing in the fall, like next season? Like, how do you guys come up with that? Like, how do you gauge and figure that out?
Yeah, so a lot of it comes down to like trending and forecasting for colors. So our design team is based in Fort Collins, and all they do is read up on trends, or one of the people there does, and it's pretty impressive because this year we rolled out Poinciana Red, which is like a bright orangey red for men's in the Sorel, and we did a grape jam. We called it like a lavender in the ladies' shell.
That was
And
an
when
awesome color. I love
Yeah,
that color.
Yeah, it's a great color. So
Nice.
when I got the sample set, I was like, this is kind of interesting. We'll see how it does. And it freaking killed it. Like both those colors out of the product line just slammed it. And it was interesting to walk around the shows because every brand was pushing that out for next year. Because those colors are trending. So if you guys look around, like a lot of the athletes are wearing those colors now, and it rolls out to the public next fall because they get it in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that, like color trends are huge. Forecasting color trends. Also, the brand is trying to take a turn into more of a 4-season approach. So we're rolling out a lightweight puffy vest for like shoulder season stuff.
Nice.
We're rolling out a 2.5 layer shell, which should be like a lighter version of the Sorel, more wearable on like a rain basis, and even in the summer, like on a rainy summer day, you can throw it on. Yeah. Technical.
I like how you said shoulder season. I'm like, I didn't know there was a shoulder season. I like that.
Oh yeah, we're in it at this point. I think.
We sure
At least
are.
on the East Coast, we are.
Definitely.
Yeah. Dude, we're in summer. I don't even know.
Well, no, I love that you guys are doing that because it's one of those. You sent me the technical sweatshirt, and I love that thing. And I was like, oh, I wish they had some sort of like joggers or something to go with it.
I know.
Like, the big thing for me is like, I like supporting ski brands, like 4 Seasons. And I was trying to find any like sort of ski brand that makes shorts, like I have 4 pairs of Oakley shorts that are 10 years old, and the elastic is just dying. I can't even put my cell phone in my pocket with my pants falling down, and I need to replace them. So I'm trying.
Like you leave the house like that?
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. I have to stay at home. I don't have shorts to wear
You can't go out. Yeah.
So like, I'll look at like Arciero, and it's like, oh, these shorts are like $95. I'm like, isn't it like something that's like $35 for a pair of like nice shorts?
Yeah.
So like, if you guys had like a because that's a big thing. Like Spider's doing it big. They're doing like their whole like surf brand now.
They're doing a good job with it. Yeah.
They're doing a great job. And it says like someone like me who's like always looking at trying to support ski first companies. That's like my default. I'm like, okay. And Costco having it makes a big help too. I will be honest. I have like
Yeah.
10
Costco spider thing. I had to do it because it was cheap. I don't know.
they were selling. I mean, that's like a whole different price point and thing altogether, obviously. But
Right.
it's like if they have it, that's cool. And then, again, if your brand had board shorts or like workout shorts, because it seems like the workout, I don't know, product line seems to be like a nice, easy pivot for outerwear and ski companies to move into, right? Because it's kind of similar lifestyle.
Yeah, you didn't hear it from me, but they are drawing up like an amphibious short. So
Nice.
Amphibious.
Yeah, so like something you could jump in the
I go
lake
left
with.
and right. I'm amphibious like that.
Yeah, so
Go to the
that
hot
should be a
tub.
cool crossover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Icelandic, they always do their like board shorts, and they always do like awesome ones, but they're like $90, and they sell out like
I know. It's crazy.
really quick. But but it is cool because again, skiers want to support ski companies, so it's nice. Like, like the whole like the meme, like shut up and take my money. It's like even if you buy like another like a off the rack, just white label short and throw your logo on it, like people will be like, oh cool, it's Terracea, like I'll buy it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And even before I worked for Terracea, I was the same way. Like, let me buy shorts from a Flylow or a Spider, just support the industry. So yeah, I understand that. I think we do well with it too. A big crossover is mountain biking too. I think they'll make like a mountain bike pant, mountain bike jersey, that sort of segment, because most skiers ride bikes in the summertime. So yeah, those go hand in hand.
That's
awesome. It's like again like an easy pivot into that, and then you can focus on the workout. I mean, the workout line is pretty saturated, but we're skiers want to support ski companies, so
pretty soon you have a brewery, then a bike team. It's a racing team. It's all good.
Terracea beer, right?
Terracea beer.
Terracea seltzer.
You guys drinking any good beers these days? What's new?
Dude, when I was at Killington, I went back to the good old Heady Topper, man. I had to get back to the old school. It was nice.
I am not drinking any beers anymore. I am drinking seltzer with weed. It's fucking awesome. They have like
it's infused, or are you sitting on the side?
There's like a weed additive. Like there's like a sweet weed additive, like, and you squeeze it up, you chuck it in there. It's called Squeeze, and I tell you, it's great. You put it whatever you want. I go out, carry my Squeeze with me, just.
There you go. Brian, have you seen those up north or no? I haven't seen those.
I don't know. I haven't actually been to a dispensary here yet, just because I just, I haven't.
It is medical. Like, it's not
even
recreational.
Medical. We have like recreational. I'm sure I got to look that up to see if they
recreational
have
has more stuff than medical.
Right. Because you know what, like, and we've talked about it a lot in the podcast lately. Is that like, the whole thing about the weed is nice. Like, I love the way my brain functions on weed, and I love that I wake up and like it's like, oh, the day's starting. It's not like you have like 2-3 beers and you're like next morning you're like, oh shit.
You're like, oh my god, it's already 7 or 6.
Usually, like this morning, my son's new thing is almost like, let's start jujitsu first thing in the morning. It's like, hey, why don't you put me in a hold, level 1, and we'll see if I can get out. I'm like, I just woke up.
Oh, like, that's please. Funny. I haven't been drinking beer either, actually. I've been drinking mostly tequila cocktails, like canned cocktails and that sort of thing. Ciders.
You know what? I tried up at, I forget the name of the brand, but I got it up at Killington at the Beer Cave. Used to be the Fat Italian.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a lime watermelon tequila can.
Huh.
Oh.
It's like a thin green can. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Was it Nantucket or no?
No, it's you know what? I'll check it out. After we're done with this interview, I'll go and find it. But
nice.
What I'm doing right now is I just took the good old. You ever had these spin drifts?
Yeah,
those are good.
Pineapple spin drift with Kirkland and Neho tequila.
Nice. There you go.
Spin drift and weed. That's what I do.
Spin drift. It's Bobby approved. It's delicious.
Yeah, spin drifts is a good call, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that as well. Yeah.
The pineapple with a little bit of tequila, very nice.
Yeah,
it's there, but doesn't
right.
Doesn't slam your face into the wall yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, that night we went out in Boston, I was regretting that last cocktail.
Very unnecessary.
It's just so slow and just like.
The next morning was just like, we got a whole day of stuff to do.
You know what it was? We went to that college bar, and the level of booze went from up here to like at the floor. So I think
Wow.
my stomach just took a turn with that tequila, whatever that was.
That was a fun place, though.
Yeah.
It was in a
Yeah, the
plastic
music was
bottle,
great.
so I don't think it was great.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't great. No.
They're like, you
No.
want to drink this straight?
Exactly.
I was joking around with my boss, and he loves like tequila. So it's funny, like we were talking, I'm like, so anything that's not in a plastic bottle, that's technically top shelf, right?
Yeah.
The wackier the shape of the bottle, the better.
That's true. That's
Right?
a true story.
Yeah.
If it has a little sombrero on it, gold.
Gold. So anything else about Terracea that we can share? You want to, I guess, terracea.com? That's where.
Terracea.com. Yeah, we'll be at the Boston Ski Expo next year for listeners that are local to Boston.
Snowbound.
Come check us out. Yeah, that's like our biggest probably consumer show at the moment. Yep. So
We will be there again in some way, shape, or form. We haven't really worked out the details yet.
We're hoping we work it out, and
we're hoping to be on stage again, but we'll see. We're definitely going to be there and be involved. I know it's earlier in November, which is cool, and it's going to be in the kind of back on the waterfront area, right? What are they calling it?
Oh yeah, see where we were before, like way
Well,
back.
they knocked that building down.
Yeah,
and there's the new convention center that's
look
down
up
there.
the name.
Wharf? Is it the Wharf District?
New and
I knew Snowbound already.
Well, it's at the Boston Convention Center. They're calling it.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, it's in a new spot.
November
the Paul
3rd through
Revere
5th.
Convention Center, the John Quincy Adams Convention Center,
Samuel Adams Convention Center. The nice
Samuel Jackson Convention. That would be some shit right there.
The nice thing about that area is you got Trillium down there, which I know we're talking about not drinking beers, but when you're by Trillium,
let's go there next year. Yeah,
get
definitely.
back on that wagon, or off that wagon.
If you can get in.
If you can get in. Well, I think there's like 7 of them now. Like there's like a lot of Trilliums now. So
hopefully get a shirt by then. Just be like, come on, man, we're going in.
Yeah. God, remember the first day we were there? It was like 12 degrees and we couldn't get in. We're like, God damn it.
I know. We had the crazy Uber driver that dropped us off like a bunch of blocks away and it's raining.
Oh, that was the very first time we were there. The Uber driver, because we were like with no idea we were going.
We just like using Uber.
Well,
like
no,
they had
just moved. Trillium had just moved to a different location, and I guess the map we were looking at showed their old address, and it was a pouring rain, miserable November Boston night. Like it's probably 34 degrees, and it was pouring rain. And the guy dropped us off like, this is the wrong spot. He's like, oh, I gotta go. See ya.
See ya.
What the fuck?
And we're like in this alley, just like getting dumped on with rain, nowhere to go. But
that sucks.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
We hated that guy.
Well, speaking of,
beat his ass later, didn't we?
In our minds, we did. In our autobiography, it says that. Yeah. But speaking of things that suck, you mentioned about being healthy. Right now, you had a very unfortunate incident back in March. So, would you care to walk us through the gory details?
Yeah. So I'll give you a date on it. February 26th, I tore my ACL at Killington. And
damn, at Killington.
I could kind of run you through the process, but essentially just normal day, chasing my friend down Dreammaker, which is on the bare side of the mountain, backside.
Yeah.
And not a trail I usually frequent, but my friend tends to be into the park. So I was chasing him through there and smeared right before the half pipe wrong. And that farthest right edge was just sharpened the night before. It caught on the snow. It was like 2 inches of powder on top of boilerplate.
Oh.
Caught some boilerplate. Again, just sharpened. My knee totally inverted in that direction. Big pop.
So it wasn't even the head wall, right? It was the actual like terrain park part.
Yeah, it was like right at the bottom. So you have visual of the lodge, that last pitch.
Yeah, just before they have a half pipe, and to the right of that, right? There's like
literally
blends in with that other. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't fall. Heard the pop. I'm like, oh fuck, maybe it's something minor. Who knows? Skied down, felt weird. Met my friend at the bottom, got out of my ski. I have marker griffins. I don't know if you guys have griffins, but they're notoriously difficult to get into for a binding.
Yeah.
And my friend's like, oh, well, this will be the test. Can you get back in? And I go to get back in, and my leg just doesn't have the power to go back into the binding. So I go inside, go downstairs to med clinic at Bear, which, by the way, Killington med staff is the best ever.
Nice.
Like, it's my second or third time dealing with them, and they're incredible. So thank you to them. But went down there. She kind of cleared me. She thought it was nothing major, maybe just pulled my calf or something that could sometimes cause a pop, because my ACL at the time felt pretty stable. And that's because of the adrenaline and the inflammation that happens instantly.
Wow.
The ACL essentially becomes protected by inflammation and tissue that blows up to protect the area. It's just human body craziness. But that's why if you tear your ACL on a basketball court, you have to feel your leg immediately after it happens. And that's why they know, because they have physicians all across the court in the NBA, for example.
Wow.
But anything after about 2-ish minutes, you got to get an MRI. You won't know.
Wow.
So actually, they gave me a ride back to Superstar. That's where I was parked, at the base of Superstar. Gave me a ride back because I didn't want to ski on it. And ended up going to the Umbrella Bar and having 2 Red Bull tequilas.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Which helped.
You're saying it was a great day.
Yeah. And then after that, I ended up working for the whole afternoon. I went to Woodstock in Lebanon. And it was in Lebanon.
You deserve a raise.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
It was that afternoon when I was crossing the street with a client. My leg gave out, and I'm like, something's really wrong here. So,
gonna work that into a sales pitch. Hold me.
Yeah, hold me.
Didn't we have a moment? Aren't you gonna buy some stuff?
Yeah, right. You're gonna say no after all we've been through together.
Yeah. Dude, we were so close. I looked you in the eye. Come on, man.
It was a younger buyer too. Yeah. So yeah, went home and essentially got home that night, put the leg up, and I just couldn't walk, like, immediately.
Damn.
As soon as my body finally wound down from adrenaline, alcohol, all the above, I just knew that something.
I gotta not stop drinking. There you go.
Yeah, just keep drinking. So yeah,
2 weeks later, found that he had torn ACL.
Yeah, not even. I landed an MRI like 48 hours after, which was really lucky. Called pretty much everywhere in New England. Just I would drive anywhere to get it, because Rutland was telling me 3 weeks. I'm like, 3 weeks. Like,
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Portsmouth was telling me 3 weeks. It was crazy. So I found like a smaller place that was able to do it pretty quickly. And consensus was ACL, completely torn, grade 3, which is as bad as it gets.
Whoa.
But also, there's a blessing in disguise there, because it's better than it being partially torn. Sometimes that could cause more complication in the surgery. Essentially, they have to snip it to make it completely torn, so it might as well naturally be torn off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, so it was definitely an unpleasant, like, 48 hours after finding out. It was definitely like a reality check, because
imagine if you do an MRI like drive-through. You're like, Brian's drive-through MRI, just like drive through, like, come on.
MR Drive.
MR Drive.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
Well, here's an
beer in the
interesting
parking lot too.
Interesting statistic. It says if you ski, chances are you know more than one person who has heard the pop and then gone under the knife for reconstruction, spending at least 6 months rebuilding their quads, which have shriveled to the size of chicken legs from lack of use. Most recent figures reveal that more than 100,000 ACL reconstruction surgeries are performed in the U.S. each year.
Damn.
Injury is skyrocketing among 14 to 18-year-olds, and it's increased 147.8% over the last 10 years and 2.3% annually, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics.
Damn.
It's unreal.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So
it's a pretty popular injury, but it's an intense one. Like, I feel like a lot of popular injuries aren't that intense and that involved. I mean, an 8 to 12 month recovery for an ACL is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Long fucking time. So
yeah. So now, where are you at with your physical therapy and recovery?
Yeah, so I'm at day 20 post-op. Able to walk as of probably like day 8 after post-op. I was able to walk pretty good. That's of this
awesome.
Past Monday, like 2 days ago, I got cleared from the brace.
Nice.
I got cleared to drive. So huge step. And yeah, I'm in a much better headspace now, but it's a long road ahead for sure. So
Well, it's hard because you're thinking about like all the stuff that's ahead of you, and because there's going to be therapy and like maybe surgery. So it's good that you're past a lot of that, and now you're just on the mend, right?
Yeah, the tough part is over. It's what everybody keeps telling me. Surgery and those 5 to 10 days after were pretty tough. I was only on the big drugs for probably 48 hours, and then I was able to get off of them. But you definitely need them for those first couple days.
Definitely never get over the big drugs. Just saying.
Yeah.
That felt pretty good. Not
you
gonna
just
lie.
keep a few around just in case.
I did.
Around recreationally, just saying.
Like to keep it in like the emergency, just in case of emergency, break glass.
That's great. Doctor, my arm still hurts. Can you give me another refill?
Yeah.
I slept pretty damn good on those things.
I gotta say, when I broke 3 ribs, and I tell you what, they gave me painkillers, and they were, I don't know what they were. They weren't maybe oxycodone or whatever, and I took them, and then I was like, well, I only took 1 day of them, but can I get a refill? The doctor's like, sure, give me a refill. I held those things for like a year. I was like, they were recreational. I was like, why not?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
I think the second night I took them, I was laying in bed and I just started getting pretty wacky.
Oh yeah.
I have this picture right here of Johnny Collinson shredding this insane line in Alaska, doing a backflip. And I actually saw him doing the backflip over and over again.
He just keeps flipping.
Yeah, he didn't stop flipping. So I was like, all right, time for bed.
Did he have an ACL injury last year?
I think he did. He
had something super gnarly, right?
Yeah, it might have been the ACL and more, like meniscus, MCL type.
Yeah.
Wow. That's like your spirit skier then, right there.
Yeah. I was telling Brian earlier that Delia Cupper, she's a skier out of the Pacific Northwest, just tore hers, and she rides for K2, Gyro, and a few more brands. So it's kind of interesting to see like these athletes progress after such a surgery.
Wow.
A little bit of a morale boost.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what are they saying your total recovery time would be?
Before I can return to sport, it's 8 to 12 months.
8 to 12 months. Wow.
Which is a big range. I mean, there's 4 months
of hopeful thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy a pass for next year. I've already decided that.
Yeah.
There's no reason for me to push into skiing and tear it again, God forbid. So
yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
If I can ski next March, great. But if not, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, luckily you're young, you're in good shape. Like you kind of are in the best position you can be to get through it as early as possible. So you have that going for you?
For sure. And PT is great. I've got a good therapist here in New Hampshire that I see twice a week for the next 2 months. That's the frame there. And then
so
I go
can't ski?
Strength training. Can't ski. No.
How about ski jumping?
Not quite. I could jump at 5 months.
Because you know what? When you're in the air, there's no pressure at all.
Everything's fine.
That leg is going good. How about snowblades?
Snowblades, I don't know. I haven't asked that one yet.
Yeah. See.
So do you envision this experience leading to different products that you want to get involved in?
In regards to selling?
Well, I mean, it's probably
ski jumping.
It's probably too early now, but kind of with your history and your background, maybe again, I probably should ask this a year from now. Like, is there something that you feel like you can almost like design better now because you've had this experience, like a different sort of base layer with support, or change a design of something? Like, so it's almost like, hey, think about this going forward versus me asking you the question now. Like thinking about the injury, is there a different product line that you could like see this leading into because of where your job role and the experience of doing this?
Yeah, I mean, from a product perspective, I mean, I certainly wish I was wearing a brace because that could have helped. Even some sort of sleeve I was reading could help with some padding, just help eliminate that pop.
Really?
The Terracia sleeve.
Terracia sleeve. Yeah.
Well, that's like the like a brace layer, like that kind of.
Yeah, actually, I have one somewhere.
Terracia sleeve.
Right.
Make it smaller. The Terracia mini sleeve.
Even like a compression from Copper Fit, like This is what I've been
Okay.
There
wearing
you
just
go.
for some compression. But even something like this to kind of compress your muscles is helpful. You see, like the knee binding is kind of interesting. It's actually a brand. It's called Knee Binding.
Terracia Knee Hugger. Boom. Great name.
Knee hugger.
Knee Hugger.
Yeah,
Gives you a
So-
little hug.
Because we talked to the guy from Bracelayer a couple years ago, and he sent us some pieces. I don't know if are you familiar with that brand at all?
No, I'm not. What are they called? I'm gonna look 'em up.
Bracelayer. Check them out. I know they're doing a big like 50% off sale now. So basically, it's almost like a knee sleeve built into a base layer pant.
Yeah, it's like
this
partial
is sick.
compression throughout the build, and like the knees are all like compression, and then like there's compression in different areas, like to like different strengths, I guess.
Yeah, it's a really nice pant. And I remember I told him when we interviewed him, you put them on and you actually feel like a superhero. It has that kind of like that fit to it, that kind of tightness. And I mean, I wear it almost all the time when it's cold. It's a little too hot when you wear it in the warmer temperatures, but they have a couple different thicknesses. They do biking stuff too, but I know it's kind of
biking, hockey, and skiing.
Yeah, I know it's a little late now, but it's a product maybe worth checking out.
Yeah, they actually have one with a boot cut for an alpine boot. That's interesting.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And we gave them feedback saying like, hey, these, because the guy, he's like a tall dude. He's based out of Whistler. He's like, yeah, you guys mentioned that it's a little bit long. He's like, a couple of people have mentioned that too. I'm like, yeah, if you had like a tight, like one that was maybe like a 3/4 length, that would be perfect. So they took our advice.
Rolled that out.
Yeah, they got that one out, and now they got a 50% off sale. Not that we're affiliated with them officially, but it's not too bad.
Actually, I like these a lot. This is interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice
I'll
product.
have to look at these a little bit more.
Good.
Yeah.
I actually uploaded the hockey ones, and he liked them for a little while, and then he was like, "Nah, I don't need." Like now he goes with regular underlayers because he's a rebel. He's 16, so. So like, I know it all.
Knows it all. Yeah.
Yep.
I've got a brother who.
I know it all.
Yeah.
So you're doing your PT
I mean,
now?
other than that, the skis too, like I mentioned to you guys, it makes me wonder if I shouldn't be on such a heavy ski.
All right.
So we'll see what happens there.
So as much as the experience sucks right now and sucked the last month, perhaps you're gaining some sort of wisdom, and maybe it'll move you into a different. Well, obviously taking you in a different direction in your life, but perhaps that's like the next chapter in your life because of this. So again, it's easy to think about like what ifs, or if I hadn't gone down that stupid trail or wore a different ski. Yeah. But this
hadn't gone down that trail, he would never be into Terracia hot tubs. Boom.
Yeah, you never know. Like the
Terracia brewery. I don't know. There's like wide open.
Right. But imagine perhaps the week after, if you hadn't done that, then maybe the week after you went out and you did the ACL, MCL, meniscus. Like there's worse things that can always happen.
Terracia,
no, I'm very grateful that it was just ACL.
Parking lot opry. That's it.
You just got to put the positive.
Let's arrange that because that sounds like a good time.
Yeah. No, hey, you know what? I'm glad we got to ski up at Waterville Valley. That was a super fun day. Unfortunately,
awesome.
I had to make my 6-hour drive? I think it was a 6-hour drive.
Yeah. That was a haul.
It's funny. I was telling Mario after, I'm like, my only regret, didn't get to have a drink with you guys, and I stopped at the Dunkin' Donuts instead of the good coffee shop, apparently in Campton. But
yeah, bad move.
What's that?
That Dunkin', man. What's that?
What was that brand? The
Common Man.
Yes.
Common Man.
Common Man.
Yeah. Those are all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there was something like in Campton on the other side of Dunkin' Donuts I didn't know existed. I was just like, ooh, bathroom, ooh, coffee. But see, just got to plan a little bit ahead.
What's over there? There's a ski shop over there. There's a gas station. Yeah, maybe there's a little coffee shop over there. I've never been.
Next time.
You know why? Because it wasn't as Brian didn't have a good time there. No, Dunkin'.
Slam dunk.
Waterville's pretty cool, guys. We should go back there.
That was a lot of fun.
Place.
Yeah, other than the lift failing. I mean, that was a good day.
Oof. Yeah, that
was good. Good mountain.
The Mad River Coffee House. That's what it's called.
River.
Interesting. I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's on Riverside Road.
Cool.
So it's kind of like not really off the beaten path, but you got to turn off a 49 there. Go past the hardware store, and it's right there.
That's a gorgeous road going up to the mountain, huh? Tripoli Road.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
Waterville.
Yeah, Mario, how was your experience catching the plane and all that? You had a long day.
You know what? I threw everything in the car, just went. I was like, had to change out by the car.
Yeah.
Jumped in and drove. I got there. Everything was timed perfectly. I didn't have a lot of like extra time, but it was like kind of got there. Boom, right in, right out. And yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Had you
It was
ever?
a fun time. That was a lot of fun.
How
Definitely.
how are the bars down there in Waterville? Would you actually stay on the mountain there for a drink after, or would you go off somewhere
Yeah,
else?
the bar right at the lodge is sick because it's like they have big garage doors. They open up, and that was a beautiful bluebird day. So
Yeah.
Nice.
they got a ton of beers on tap, full bar. I would recommend that for sure. And then they have a village. Like if you're going back towards 93, before you make the right on Tripoli, you make a left, and there's a whole village with condos and shops and more bars downtown in Waterville
Nice.
Valley.
Okay.
So, yeah,
there
last
isn't that
year I
much
actually
stuff
stayed
there,
over.
though, is there?
Is there what?
There isn't that much stuff down there, though, in that village, is there? I mean, there's a lot of like
not as much as like
condos
a
and stuff.
Stratton, but
Yeah.
there's still a few good bars and restaurants that are worth checking out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That whole area is cool. Like we went to that one place. What town was that in, Brian? That place with
Plymouth?
the which one?
Plymouth? No?
We were up by
We were in Plymouth and we went to that one bar. Crap, it was in
was that after we went to Cannon?
oh, was it Cannon? Oh, I think it might have been the night between.
Yeah,
Cannon
after
and
Cannon,
Waterville.
we went
Yeah.
to Franconia, and then we
Mhm.
went up to Bethlehem.
Yeah.
And Bethlehem is
cool.
where that awesome
It's that brewery, the
Reckless
Reckless. That's what it
Reckless
was.
Brewing, yeah. Yeah, that place
Yeah,
was
Ben.
dynamite.
Sick. Yeah, I've never been there. Cool.
It's up
That was
the road.
legit.
yeah.
So many good breweries around. It's crazy. Can't
Yeah.
catch up.
That was the one with the big pipe for the taps and everything.
Yes, we were
Oh,
very
that's right.
impressed with the craftsmanship and the
Yeah, that's
cement cast bar they had there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was quality.
I just
You
said
guys
we
got to get up here more often. There's plenty of mountains to check out. On 93. So
There's
many.
so much cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
How have you skied Waterville on like a heavy powder day, or when you can like pop in the glades?
I haven't. No, I'm dying to though because I heard there's some pretty awesome glades in there.
it looks like I tell you what, that mountain, the shape of it, the way it's laid out, really nice. I don't know, I liked it. It just felt nice, you know.
It needs
Yeah,
a
they're-
water park.
No,
It's a water park for me and my family to go up there. That would be like that's
Tire the kids out.
that's our jam these days, man. Water parks.
Well, actually, Waterville Valley is trying to get permitting to expand. So if you're looking at the mountain, like that top right peak is currently state land. They're trying to put a lift up to that.
nice.
So it'll be interesting.
And
See what
when
happens.
the family who owns it is the governor's family, it's
Yes.
amazing how many pieces of legislation get pushed through so easily.
You get permits very
Yeah.
easily, right?
Very quick. Yeah, it took a couple hours. Yeah.
Hey, it fell off a truck. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget
Yeah,
about
Jersey
it.
down there.
He
Yeah.
was just on Sununi was just on Bill Maher recently. He's a wacky guy.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, I don't really know too much about him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just a little wacky. Because isn't there like
Yeah.
a trail called like Governor or something? Or
Yeah.
Governor's Trail?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Chris and Nuno. Yeah.
The Schwendi Hütte. I'm telling you, you guys need to make sure you hit the Schwendi Hütte next time.
Brandy
I
with
couldn't
that.
get to it. The lift wasn't running.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
they finally opened up that Sunnyside triple.
Yeah, that was good in there.
You can get to that from there.
Remember that kid that wiped out? You helped him out.
Dude, that
Totally shit.
I was telling Mario about that. I'm like he was like
Yard
trying to
sale.
hit like maximum speed. Like he just like was just going,
Just exploded.
going, and he just it just blew up, and you heard the whole lift like was like, oh. And I go up to him like, hey man, are you okay? He's like, surprisingly, yes. I'm like, you trying to do like suicide by ski? Like, what are you doing,
Oh
bro?
my god.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's boom.
Just exploded. It was like Christmas Vacation when like he puts like that lubricant on the sled and just like launches down. It was just like that on skis.
and then explosion. Bam.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, Mike, anything else you want to share, chime in, comment?
That's it. I mean, if you want some ACL tips for those who want it, I'd say explore your surgeon and do research on who you get it done with, and also the graft. I was telling you, Brian, before, but there's many options on where they pull the tissue to repair it. So research that, because certain sports that you do may benefit more from a certain graft. Or
where'd they pull yours from?
Patella tendon. Yeah.
So the part of the knee, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's essentially your kneecap.
Wow.
So they pull the tissue from the kneecap and put it together.
Does it grow back or something, or it's just
it's gone.
Extra? Wow.
No, yeah, there's some there still, but it's the other alternative is the quad, which would have been 4 to 6 weeks of no walking, which I didn't really like, and it's a little bit more of a recovery. And the other one's the hamstring, which is sometimes hit or miss. Because it's
they give you the option for like cadaver or no?
No, they don't do that anymore, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, because it can
not that I
frowned upon, or
your body can reject it, because that's the whole thing, is at least you're taking it from your own body. Your own body isn't going to reject.
Damn. No, I have like friends that had their knees redone with cadaver, and I was like, is that messed up? They're like, I don't care. My knee works now. So it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough.
But it's so cool how the whole process has evolved so much too. Like the way it seems like every 10, 15 years, the amount of time they've chopped the recovery down to seems to have a significant reduction, because they're coming up with these new methods, these new ways of doing it, these new techniques. Because I mean, you probably have like a little scar on there now versus 20, 30 years ago, you have the massive, zipper they put on there.
Yep.
So
it's pretty, I mean, it's about 2.5 inches. It's pretty big, actually. But
is it?
It's clean.
That's
it's all internal. Nice. That was easy.
Boom.
I couldn't resist saying it. Set it up.
They what was I gonna say? I don't even know. Fuck. That was good.
Clean 2.5.
Yeah, nothing major. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy though.
But I love that
it's all internal stitching. That's what I was gonna say. So it doesn't look too gnarly.
But no, I love that advice to kind of look around and talk to the different surgeons, because.
So what do you look for? You look for like experience or type of surgeries, or it's kind of.
Yeah, I got 3 opinions. 2 guys wanted to do a quad graft, and the last guy I saw wanted to do what I did, was the patella graft.
Huh.
And just the attitude from the surgeon I went with, it was so much better, a lot more optimistic, wanted to get me back on skis for next year. That sort of mindset. A lot younger, probably in his 40s, where the other 2 guys were like, yeah, we'll get it done. A lot less optimistic, I guess.
Did they have handlebar mustaches?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you won't be on skis for like 5 years.
Yeah,
let's find a cadaver. I can find one for you quick. I got a guy.
Cadaver.
Yeah. So, they're actually doing stitching now. You could stitch together your ACL, but there's not a ton of research on it yet. So that could be popular in the next few years.
If they had it where you could, like, they had a cyborg knee, would you get it done after you got injured or before? Think about that, right? They actually talk about like baseball players, like pitchers, getting the Tommy John surgery when they're in high school in preparation for them pitching and not having to have it later. Isn't that messed up? Getting a pre-surgery before you're even injured, like
just to eliminate injury possibility. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't know. Would you do that for skiing? Like, if you're a mogul skier, would you do that like on your knee? If maybe it helps, I don't know.
Well, they said that's potentially what we could be in for in the future, where, remember that, like, before he murdered his girlfriend, that Oscar Pistorius had those like blades legs, and he was like faster on those blade legs than a regular person would be.
Crazy,
and then
man.
What happens when the technological
chopping girls' heads off with that thing? That got all crazy.
He got a little weird there, but like, imagine if the technological evolution is better than the human version.
Yeah.
Would you want to do that versus having like the au natural version?
Yeah.
It's something that we're gonna probably have to
deal with. Implants, right?
You should have a podcast on that. It's an interesting topic.
It isn't. That's we're gonna need Mario's squeeze. We're all gonna have a couple squeezes.
You're gonna need a lot of
beforehand.
squeezes.
Ew, that's what she said.
And then we're gonna do some discussing, some squeezing, then some discussing. We're gonna figure some things out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me start a podcast. This will make you figure some shit out.
What we
That's
try
right.
to do. Try to make people think a little bit, maybe learn a little bit, and have a
Little bit.
couple laughs. Right?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Terracia, go check them out, terracia.com. Best of luck to you in your recovery.
Yeah, recover well, man.
And
Thanks,
if you want
guys.
to, people want to follow you. How do they follow you? You're on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm personally just my first and last name, Mike Arciero, with 3 O's at the end. So ARCIEROOO.
Oh,
That was all that was available. So
That's what she
Some-
said.
2O version.
what's
Someone
that?
someone has the 2 O's.
Someone does have the 2 O's.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you go to 3?
Some
But you know what?
robot somewhere.
Someone else had to go
Go
with
3.
4.
4. I'll go to 5. I don't care.
This goes crazy. Mike, it's
No.
always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks for coming on, and best of luck with this rehab. And we're gonna ski with you next season.
Yeah,
Sounds
definitely.
good,
Man.
guys. Thank you. Yeah,
All
thanks
right.
for having me on.
All right, our
Thanks, man.
pleasure. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want more information or links, go to our website, skibumpodcast.com. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We're on the socials, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Untapped, at Skibum Podcast. If you like what you hear? Support us. Be a patron. Patreon.com/Skibum Podcast to support us. Email. Send us one. skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Go to our YouTube. It's also Skibum Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay prudent.
See ya.